Jon Rahm blasts new world ranking formula as laughable, takes swipe at Greg Norman for his vendetta. Laughable was the word Jon Rahm used, 3 times in succession and 5 times in all. But the Spaniard wasn't even smiling when the subject of the official world golf ranking came up during his pre-tournament press conference at the DP World Tour Championship. "I'm going to be as blunt as I can," Rahm went on. "I think the OWGR right now is laughable. 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 The fact that, this week's PGA Tour event, the RSM Classic, which doesn't have any of the top 20 in the world, has more points than this event where we have 7 of the top 20 is laughable. The fact that Wentworth had less points than Napa, having players in the top 10 in the world is laughable. I understand what they are trying to do with the depth of field, but having the best players in the world automatically makes the tournament better," he continued. "I understand what they are trying to do with the depth of field, but having the best players in the world automatically makes the tournament better. Okay, fair enough. But where does that leave LIV Golf? As things stand, the still fledgling circuit does not receive any statistical recognition, a fact that has seen the participants plummet on the world ranking. Former U.S. Open and Masters champion Dustin Johnson, by way of example, is currently rated the 38th best player on the planet, which is clearly a nonsense, at least in Rahm's mind. A lot of people are against them, LIV, having world ranking points, he said. A lot of people are against them, LIV, having world ranking points. Much of which was in direct contrast to the view taken by world number 1 Rory McIlroy a day earlier. European Ryder Cup teammates the pair may be, but at least on this issue of world ranking points they are on opposing sides of the debate. They do have one thing in common though. One day after McIlroy called for LIV Golf CEO Greg Norman's head, Rahm supported the Northern Irishman's view that the Australian needs to be the first casualty in the ongoing dispute between LIV and the PGA/DP World Tours. "I think Greg has had a vendetta against the PGA Tour for a long time," Rahm said. "And when you have an ulterior motive, it can cloud your judgment a little bit. Greg is a player, not a businessman, even if he has been successful in that area. To me, he has an ulterior motive beyond just creating a golf tour. He's had this vengeance for 30 years. So his intentions might not be as pure as they could, which is a problem. So he might not be the best person for the job, even if he has done great things for the tour. I do believe that, for conversations to take place, Greg might need to be gone. Right now, it doesn't seem like he and PGA Tour Commissioner, Jay Monahan, will want to be in the same room together. I'm not going to lie and tell you I agree with everything the PGA Tour has done," Rahm continued. "It was a mistake and a wasted opportunity to not meet with LIV. Both sides missed the mark on that. And that is where a lot of the animosity started. Even if they disagreed, it would have been good to talk. So to get a resolution we might need one or both of them gone. I hope not. Jay has done a great job for the PGA Tour." Speaking of which, Rahm was quick to jump to the fence of his compatriot and high-profile LIV convert, Sergio Garcia. The former Masters champion has drawn much criticism in the wake of his own outspoken views on the DP World and PGA Tours, at one point claiming that he couldn't wait to make the jump to LIV Golf. Asked if all or any of the above would tarnish Garcia's legacy, Rahm didn't hesitate to support his former Ryder Cup partner. "Those who have been fans of Sergio, I don't think they care, really, where he plays," he said. "Some of them might but most of them I don't really think they care. It still shouldn't change what he's done in the game. What he's done in the Ryder Cup, European Tour, PGA Tour. None of that should be affected by where he decides to play golf, at least in my mind. Still, it could have somewhat of an impact. I have a hard time believing a lot of those players are going to have a positive impact with their legacy right now. We don't know what's going to happen, but if it does, I hope it's not a big one, let's say it that way. Sergio has done a lot for the game of golf, so it would be sad to see that change. Hang on though. We weren't quite done on the world ranking front." Keen to underline his point, Rahm circled round again to underline his concerns. "It's above my pay grade to know how the math works, but would you rather win a tournament when you have the number 1 player in the world there or because you have the 30th or 6th there?" he asked, presumably rhetorically. "I think it's more valuable if you're beating best players in the world. I think a lot of people would agree and I think it should reflect that. I don't know what the fix is. I understand what they were trying to do when they changed some things, but like I said, they missed the mark.